The Book of the Dead, Part 2. Spells, Symbols, and the Soul's Journey. Picture a scribe's careful hand, black and red ink flowing across creamy papyrus. The air is thick with incense, and the hush of the temple is broken only by the scratch of the reed pen. Each line and each image is a lifeline for the soul, an arsenal of magic for the journey ahead. The Book of the Dead is not a story in the modern sense, but a mosaic of spells, vignettes, and sacred instructions. Yet woven together, these fragments form one of humanity's most gripping spiritual epics. Chapter 1. The Architecture of the Afterlife. The Book of the Dead is organized not by chapters, but by spells, with over 200 in total, each with a distinct purpose. Some are brief, a single line of protection, while others are elaborate, filled with dialogue, ritual, and myth. The order of spells varies from scroll to scroll, tailored to the needs and fears of the deceased. Yet a typical journey unfolds in 4 great movements. First comes preparation and protection. The earliest spells are practical. They ensure the preservation of the body, the reuniting of the soul's parts, and the protection of the tomb. The Egyptians believed that the Ka, Ba, Ak, Ib, and Shoit must be kept safe from harm, both physical and spiritual. Spells ward off snakes, insects, and tomb robbers, while others invoke the gods to guard the mummy and its treasures. Next is the descent into the Duat. The soul awakens in the Duat, the shadowy realm beneath the earth. Here the Book of the Dead becomes a map and a manual. Spells describe the geography of the underworld, rivers of fire, fields of reeds, and gates guarded by monstrous beings. The soul must know the names of these guardians, the passwords to pass, and the rituals to appease them. Ignorance is fatal, but knowledge is power. The third movement is the judgment before Osiris. At the heart of the journey lies the Hall of Mat. Here, the soul stands before Osiris, flanked by 42 assessors, each representing a principle of cosmic order. The most famous spell, Spell 125, is recited: the negative confession. The deceased proclaims innocence of every sin, from theft and murder to blasphemy and cruelty. The heart is weighed against the feather of Mat. Thoth, the divine scribe, records the verdict. If the scales balance, the soul is justified. If not, Ammit devours the heart, and the soul is lost forever. Finally comes rebirth and eternal life. For the justified, the Book of the Dead offers spells of transformation and renewal. The soul is granted passage to the field of reeds, a paradise of abundance, where loved ones are reunited and all earthly joys are restored. Here the soul may become an Ak, a shining spirit, or even merge with the gods themselves. The journey is complete, and the promise of immortality is fulfilled. Chapter 2. Deciphering the Spells. Keys to the Afterlife. Let us pause and examine some of the book's most iconic spells, translating their ancient magic into modern understanding. Spell 1, the opening of the mouth, was often performed as a ritual on the mummy and is designed to restore the senses of the deceased. The text proclaims, "My mouth is opened by Pata, my mouth is split open by my own hand." The soul must be able to speak, eat, and breathe in the afterlife, just as in life. Spell 17, the secret knowledge of creation, is a philosophical meditation. This spell asks, "What is this?" It answers with a mythic account of the world's birth, links the deceased to the cosmic order, affirming their place in the universe. Spell 30b, the heart's defense, addresses the heart, the seat of memory and morality, which must not betray the soul at judgment. The plea is, "O my heart, which I had from my mother. O my heart, of my different ages. Do not stand up as a witness against me." This is both a legal and magical safeguard against self-incrimination. Spell 125, the negative confession, is perhaps the most famous passage. This spell is a litany of innocence. I have not committed sin. I have not stolen. I have not slain people. I have not uttered lies. Each denial is addressed to a specific judge, reinforcing the soul's alignment with Mat. Spell 148, the field of reeds, describes the paradise awaiting the justified. The text says, "I know the names of the gods who are in the field of reeds, who bring the offerings, who make the barley grow. The afterlife is not an abstract heaven, but a perfected Egypt, with fields, rivers, and families restored. Chapter 3. The Language of Magic, Hieroglyphs, and Iconography. The Book of the Dead is as much a visual masterpiece as a literary one. Its spells are often accompanied by vivid illustrations, scenes that are both symbolic and functional. The weighing of the heart is an iconic image. It shows the deceased heart on one side of the scale and Mat Spether on the other. Anubis, the jackal-headed god, oversees the weighing. Thoth, with the head of an ibis, records the result. Osiris sits enthroned, green-skinned and regal, awaiting the verdict. Mit, part crocodile, lion, and hippopotamus, crouches nearby, ready to devour the unworthy. The solar bark depicts the sun god Ra sailing through the underworld each night, battling the serpent Apophis. The deceased may join this journey, protected by spells and amulets, and emerge reborn with the dawn. The gates and guardians are another recurring theme. Duat is a labyrinth of gates, each guarded by fearsome beings. The book provides their names and the words to pacify them. The soul declares, "I know you, I know your name," and the gate swings open. Transformation spells allow the soul to take on new forms, such as a falcon, a lotus, a heron, or a serpent. Each transformation offers new powers and protections, echoing the Egyptian belief in the fluidity of the soul. Chapter 4. The Pantheon in Action, Gods, Demons, and the Divine Order. The Book of the Dead is a living drama. It's cast drawn from the vast Egyptian pantheon. Osiris is the judge and king of the dead, symbolizing resurrection. Anubis is the guide and protector, master of embalming. Thoth is the scribe and mediator, keeper of wisdom. Mat is the embodiment of truth, balance, and justice. Ra is the sun god, the source of life and rebirth. Horus, Isis, Nephthys, Hathor, and others each play a role in the soul's journey, offering aid or testing resolve. Demons and monsters also populate the Duat, but they are not evil in the modern sense. They are guardians of order, testing the soul's worthiness and knowledge. The book's spells are both passwords and weapons, ensuring safe passage. Chapter 5. The Moral Universe, Mat and the Negative Confession. At the heart of the Book of the Dead is a profound moral vision. The Negative Confession is not merely a list of denials, but a declaration of ethical living. The soul must be free of violence, theft, deceit, and cruelty. The afterlife is not a reward for faith alone, but for a life lived in harmony with Mat. This vision is strikingly modern. The Egyptians believed that every action had cosmic consequences, and that justice and truth were the foundation of both society and the universe. The Book of the Dead is thus both a guide to the afterlife and a manual for living well. Chapter 6. A Living Document, Variations and Personalization. No two books of the dead are exactly alike. Some are grand, with dozens of spells and lavish illustrations, while others are brief, containing only the essentials. The choice of spells reflects the fears, hopes, and status of the deceased. Some scrolls include personal prayers, family names, or even blank spaces to be filled in later. This personalization makes each book a unique artifact, a window into the life and aspirations of its owner. It also speaks to the adaptability of Egyptian religion and its willingness to evolve and embrace new ideas. Epilogue: The Soul's Triumph. As the last spell is recited, the soul stands triumphant. The perils of the Duat are overcome. The judgment is passed, and the gates of paradise swing open. The deceased is reborn, radiant and eternal, in the field of reeds. The Book of the Dead has fulfilled its promise. Yet, the journey is not only for the dead. For us, the living, the book offers a glimpse into the heart of ancient Egypt. A civilization that faced death with courage, imagination, and hope. Its spells and stories remind us that the quest for meaning, justice, and immortality is as old as humanity itself. End of Part 2. Part 3 will explore the rediscovery, legacy, and modern understanding of the Book of the Dead, and what it reveals about the human condition.